XRP is going absolutely insane right now as we speak. And I want to bring one thing to y'all's attention. The strategy, which I outlined earlier during our live stream, has right now brought our trade into 43% worth of profit in just a few hours. And again, we only used an account with about $200 inside, so hopefully anybody that was watching the stream or watching the video could replicate it. And again, being up 45% or so in a day is definitely not too bad, but I quickly want to explain the strategy to y'all once again. If you also want to trade, the platform I'm using right now is Blowfin. It's a platform you can use from almost anywhere in the world. If you can't, just use a VPN. You'll be able to access it as there's no KYC. You don't have to verify your ID. So to get back into it, I put about $250 and later on a couple hundred more into the account just to open a $50 trade. And then later on, like about I'm gonna say an hour ago or so, I went to buy a little bit of a dip here again, as you can see from that little green arrow right there, with the idea that if I just keep buying my way down lower for XRP and I make sure that this liquidation price right there for XRP does not go above, I'm gonna say 40 cents, I'll be completely fine, because I do not believe that XRP ever, realistically, is going to see another 40-cent price tag, maybe in the next bear run. But if it doesn't really see 40 cents right now, then I can keep this trade open. And if I just keep buying my way down lower and lower and lower, I'll be able to make tons of profit, even if there is some sort of pullback, even if prices do come crawling down first. So right now, for example, we are almost at 92 cents and we bought in at about 88 point something, right? Many people will look at this and think, Dusty, you are so stupid. The price is up like 50% in a week. Why are you buying at these crazy high prices? Because you can see we bought right there. We were buying at the highest of the highest prices for XRP almost in many years, right? The reason I'm doing that is the same like why I'm doing that for all these different coins. Let me quickly show you. So here we've got our XRP trade on Bybit. Let me show you a couple more trades actually. So if we're just taking a look at a couple of my trades here, right? You might notice one thing. First of all, my whiff here is down $4,000. Let's quickly see. Solana, I accidentally put 1.0 too little, so it's only up $200. Should be 2,000, but my mistake. Ethereum is almost break even. We got an $80,000 position open, but again, the price is not doing so well. We got Dogecoin, it's up 18,000, 17,000, and we already took out $10,000 on that. Bitcoin is up 15,500. We already took $10,000 out on that as well. Pepe is up 1,500 or so. We took 200 on that. And XRP is up 11,500 or so, and we took 500 on that already. You can see I sold a little bit at the top right there, like the 400 or whatever, and then I bought back in slightly later because I told you guys, whenever it drops below these lines, I might as well just buy. So right there, I might buy some XP right there. Should buy more right there, should buy more. It's over on Bybit or Blowfin, is basically the same thing. If you use Bybit, a link is down below. If you use Blowfin, a link is down below. Because right now I'm going so crazy on blasting everything. And people have probably looked at this loss, right? At the you can't see it. Here we go. At the whiff loss that's at the bottom. You can't see it, but there's like minus $4,000 like right below there, right? That's the whiff long. My thinking process is though, guys, if I right now, for example, buy the whiff dip, because just now it was minus 4,300. Right now, as the second, it's only minus 3,700. If I just keep buying my way down lower over the next few days, weeks, months, as long as I do not lose the position and I don't get liquidated, I think it will turn into a ton of profit because most of these things will be bouncing back from the bottom. I know I'm talking so fast. I should calm down, slow down. But I really want you guys to see the opportunity that we've got in front of us here with just crazy price gains all across the board. I mean, a 92-cent XRP, who could have believed that, right? And like I was talking about earlier, Cardano, for example, is also going absolutely insane. And you might think, Dusty, is it worth it to open a Cardano position? You know what? We could just for fun actually open a Cardano position right here. If they have some leverage over on Bybit, just to quickly showcase that it's actually, in my opinion, not really stupid to even blast tops like this. Right now, the price is going crazy. I know normally in traditional trading, this is the dumbest point to buy, right? Because right now you can see we've gotten rejected from here multiple times. So one thing we could do is, for example, now try to trade to breakout. So we're trying to, for example, buy right here. We market buy, for example, I'm just buying $100 to give an example. We buy $100 worth. And the idea is that right now the price is breaking out of this range. We're hoping it's going to go a lot more up from here. If it doesn't though, we're going to wait. For example, let's see, hey, prices have been increasing quite steadily over this time period. But let's say we actually do break right back down. We actually wait for a certain price, for example, right here at 64 cents, where we decide to, again, open up a new entry. So at that point, for example, we say, hey, you know what? We put a limit order. You can't perfectly see it, but we put a limit order, for example, at whatever price you wanted to buy at. So let's say we wanted to buy right here. We just press this little plus button. We want to buy, for example, $1,000 or $1,008, I don't know. And then we're looking at this thinking, hey, you know what? If it all the way goes down to 57 cents, we again want to buy, you know what, 2,000. We want to buy if it goes to that level. So we press buy right there, right? Then it doesn't really matter how much we're buying right now. Again, if I just mark a buy slightly more, let's say we buy, for example, 1,000 right here. So we open a long, a little bit more. This might now look really, really dumb. And it's too little money. It's only like $1,000 in total. So it's not going to look like a lot of money in the grand scheme of things anyway. And I mark about it so the fees are slightly higher. But I do believe, and again, I'm not saying blast every top, right? Because this, for example, is very risky. We have not seen the breakout just quite yet. This is like a, maybe it's going to break up, maybe not. We're only buying $1,000. If it comes right back down, though, we're going to actually open a solid position once it gets to 64 cents, hopefully again. But the reason this works so well in bull markets is because you have continuous days of gains. Again, I will tell you one thing. You usually buy low, sell high. This is the trading how it works, right? You buy low, sell high. Things get less risky the lower that they go, the more risky the higher that they go. And if you're only buying tops, generally speaking, you might become people's exit liquidity. What that means is when you're buying, they're selling. Then again, there are exceptions to that rule. Exception number one is if you are trying to open a position as an entry. So you're trying to enter into a new landscape, into a new ticker. So for example, you want to get a Cardano allocation. You want to get into that. You want to have a position. Now, you might start building that position from a very high price point. If you layer your way down, though, it doesn't really matter when you start. It's more about where you end up. But because the general trend right now of the bull market is so bullish, I'd be personally more hesitant to not have any position open rather than having mine be at too high of a starting price. Because again, in my opinion, the worst case is that it's going to be a few weeks of really awfulness. But as long as you don't over leverage yourself, as long as you do not get liquidated and you're able to add more margin to maintain that position throughout time, I think you're going to end up really well. For example, right now, our XRP trade is 45% of the profit. We made it today. I explained everything and why we're doing it. And right now, this Cardano is down 6%. Why? Well, we bought slightly too high. What we do though is, let's say we eventually get to minus 30% because we're all the way down here, right? All things are going awful, right? Oh my God, we're 70% down on whatever money we put in. Oh, we're buying that dip again. Again, that's the reason I only put in very little money. We only put in $50 right now. Why? Because again, we're trying to time that breakout. Perhaps if this were to break out right now, it could have done a 5% move up, for example, in the span of like a few minutes. That could have been 50% gains or so in the span of like a snap. Unfortunately didn't. But again, right now then, for example, since we got ourselves some position, now we're going to think about, hey, how do we want to build this? Where do we get ourselves, the proper size? What bottom are we going to try buy? And that could be, for example, right here. You can see what prices got to last time. So slightly above that bottom, for example, or hey, if you want to actually get closed candles and slightly above this bottom. So for example, at slightly above 65 cents, 65.08 maybe, we're going to buy again. So in case it comes down, we buy right there. But maybe it's just going to keep pushing through. I mean, you can see how prices are trying to push out here. And that's, again, the risk of trying to buy the breakout. But I could just add another $1,000 in just for fun. So we have at least a few $1,000s riding on this. So in case the price goes up here, we might make ourselves a couple tens of dollars. And again, that's kind of the strategy, what I've been doing for a lot of these memes as well. So when do you do this and when do you not do this? Let me really make it clear. Not your financial advisor, but hopefully what I said makes sense. When do you do this? Yes. You do this in really bullish markets with pairs that are quite certain to bounce back. Meaning if you're going to go for big pairs like XRP, ADA, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, you have a very high chance that the moment it starts dropping, if the market does not turn around fully, if Bitcoin doesn't go for a $8,000 correction in a day, a $14,000 correction in a day, that they'll bounce up hard. For those type of pairs, it's fine. And you do this when you generally speaking have big enough a bankroll that you're able to suck up the loss, that's one part, and able to add more margin to your position so you don't get liquidated so the trade never burns you. Also, you do this when you've got some patience. If you need your money real quick, don't do this. And it's good. When do you not do this? When the market's bad. When your bearish run, or I should say your bull run is about to end, you stop doing this, right? This works for like a few months only. Out of a whole 4-year bull cycle, only a few months are where this really works properly. I've shown this back in 2018. This is where I made the most of my money in my life. I lost a lot of it though because you learn, and that's why I'm teaching you guys now, that at some point you got to stop with this. I lost so many Bitcoin to this back when they were only $2,000 a piece. So if you lost 40 Bitcoin, for example, it was only $80,000, but think about how much 40 Bitcoin would be right now. Anyway, so this is one of the strategies that works really well, like I just said. When do you not do this? Well, you don't do this if you do not have a proper bankroll, because you got to have some money on your account to be able to sustain these things. If you're buying random pairs, so you're closing your eyes, thinking, which should I buy? That works in peak euphoria, more towards the real altcoin season, what my bot used to do back in the day. And again, this to some people is going to sound so degenerate, and I understand it, but it's one of those secrets that will make people so much money. Again, what I did is you had a bot every single time an altcoin goes down 1 or 5, whatever percent, you make sure it buys, because in altcoin season, it all just keeps going back up the next day. Haven't you guys noticed the last couple of weeks has been only up and up and up? So let's say, guys, here's another kicker. This might only work for the next 3 weeks, 2 days, 7 days, whatever. The goal is to make so much profit in a very short amount of time that the moment it inevitably collapses, where Bitcoin makes a big jump down, that you're not going to be hurt as much because of the amount of profit you've made. So there is a part to cashing out good chunks here. For example, right now, our ADA position is in 2% worth of profit. Now with the fees, again, if I close right now, I only make like $5, so I won't do that. But you see, right now, 10%, you see guys, you see, this is exactly what I mean. Right now, we are 10% profit on a Cardano trade that just opened. I can close this right now if I want for 10% profit. It's only $6 or $10, so I won't do that. It doesn't make sense to me, but it's about the idea. And that's what I wanted to quickly showcase to you guys. Also, our XRP trade of earlier today, it just keeps working. This will not keep working forever. It's not an infinite money glitch. This is not something really special. It is very, very risky in the sense that if you don't know what you're doing, you might go way too crazy on too big a trade at the start. And then once the price corrects like by 10% or whatever, you're not able to handle that, you get liquidated. That is not what you want to do. Sorry if I'm screaming in you guys' ears. I'm just so excited because it just keeps working. This is my 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗏 bull market strategy. And again, XRP right now also, like I said, in 47% profit on the trade we opened during the stream. Again, it's very little money. I know it's only $40. It's about the idea that anybody that was watching my stream was basically with me when I opened this position. The only thing I did a little bit later is buy the dip slightly with like $30 more because we only opened it with 50 and now it's $80 in there. But again, you could have copied the XRP trade right there. This Cardano one obviously is live, so you couldn't have basically copied it. But I think the idea here is what counts. It's the same idea as I described with my XRP trade. And again, the rest of our trades are basically always the same. I do that the same time every single time. Sometimes you lose, right? You can see here on my $24,000 in WIF, I am right now $4,000 down. If you're not able to handle that, don't open trades with that big a size. Here, for example, we've got $80,000 in Ethereum trade. It's only up $200, and it already cost me a little bit to keep this open because there's funding fees. Then again, with Dogecoin, I only put in like $1,000, and it's already like $30,000 in profit. So if you're able to time this right, this can be one of the most profitable things ever. Anyway, check out 𝗏𝗏. That's the exchange I'm using right now. A link is down below. Make sure you press the like button because, well, it speaks for itself. Nobody can tell me that this doesn't make sense because it makes too much sense. But yeah, that's about it.